Hey, everyone. Welcome back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's 2026, y'all. And we've been gone a while, just a few weeks, but it feels like an eternity, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does for sure.
Yeah. Well, it feels really good to be back again with you all. So if you're new here or you watch the replay and it's the first time that you have joined us, pull up a chair because you're in the right place. I'm Shelley Brown, and I'm here with two of my very favorite people and co-hosts, Carol and Sarah.
Yay. Yeah. So, hey, friends, I'm Carol. And one of the things that I do in Book Marketing Pro Academy is help authors think clearly and strategically and, big one, realistically about publishing and marketing without losing your heart in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I am Sarah, the one who doesn't know what's going on. Just although that
you just act like you don't. You really do.
But I also tend to share where we talk honestly about questions that authors are already thinking, but are just a little bit too afraid to ask.
Yes. So this is fUNfiltered, where we talk honestly about what it really takes to get your book into readers' hands without hype, without guilt, and without pressure. So as we said a little bit ago, we've been gone for a little bit. So a couple of weeks to enjoy the holidays, took a little breather, but we're back and we are kicking off 2026 with something that really matters. Because today we are talking about the current state of publishing, the publishing industry, not to discourage you, not to overwhelm you, because we're not about overwhelming everyone, right? Definitely not to shame you, but just to tell you the truth and to give you hope.
And maybe just a tiny bit of loving side eye to the precious publishing industry, because we all know that it happens and we do. So
yeah, right. But somebody needs to say it out loud. So the most important thing is we actually want to help you, the author, do something about it.
For sure. Yeah. So we're going to give you right up off at the top here, just a bit of a reality check. Okay. We're going to start with some numbers for y'all. And friends, these are not opinions. These are real numbers. They're not guesses. They're not worst case scenarios. They're industry averages of the publishing industry as a whole. Okay. So here it is. The average book in the US sells under 1,000 copies over its entire lifetime. All right. Many sell under 250 in its lifetime, and some don't even hit 100. So here's the thing, y'all. That's true for traditional publishing, for self-publishing, and for hybrid publishing, all of it.
Right. So if you're listening and thinking, why is no one buying my book? You're not broken. You're not alone, and you're definitely not failing.
Yeah, you're just standing in the middle of an industry that does not explain this, what we're going to talk to you about, to people ahead of time, let alone equip authors to do above average.
Right. So we are going to talk about the part that most authors don't hear about and why it matters. So the first thing is when you think, so those of you who have books out already, when you look back at your when you look back at your sales, you can see kind of where you fit in this scope. So if you have sold 1,000 copies of your book, you are already above the average. If you sold 3,000, you're doing really, really well. And if you've sold 5,000 or more, you are officially above, and you are the exception to the rule. So it's not hype that I'm sharing with you. It's just the reality.
Yeah, which means the goal is not to go viral or die trying.
Yeah, for sure. The goal is steady, intentional and connected growth.
Yeah.
So, why most books don't sell, we are going to cover 7 reasons, and they're the 7 real reasons they don't sell. So, if the calling, our message, if that is not the issue, what is? Got to start there when you're addressing the problem. So let's, as I said, let's talk about the 7 real reasons that books don't sell. And we want you to listen without judgment, because almost every author checks at least one of these boxes. If you take these to heart and you take action on them, your chances of rising above that average increase significantly.
Yeah. And, as I think through these
The first reason.
Do you hear me? Okay.
Yes, you're good.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. So I think when I look at these reasons, I recognize that they're things that we are very strategic with, not only in Book Marketing Academy, but with Redemption Press and the publishing process. And so some of you who are loyal followers of us and loyal, just part of our family, you're going to recognize them, but it's not bad to hear them again, because when we keep it fresh in front of us, it will help us do the right next step. So the first one is when you have an unclear audience, meaning that if you think your book is for everyone, it connects with no one.
Right.
Absolutely. And the second one is probably one you can guess and understand. The second reason is weak packaging. And yes, I am talking about book covers and descriptions, because readers absolutely judge books by their cover. That's why we tell you not to. Every single time, those 2 items will either encourage them to move forward or step back and move on.
Yeah, because you think about it, like the very first thing someone does when they walk into a store is they pick up your book because it's your cover and they flip it over to see what the description is.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm guilty. I have actually purchased a book based on its cover. So I'm just saying, it's real. And, it's just reality. And there's actually just 5 of these that we're going to give you, not 7. So that was the first one was that Carol mentioned, was that your audience is not clear. Your second one is the weak packaging, judge book by cover, and the description. And then the third one is discoverability. If people don't know that your book exists, they can't buy it. I mean, that's Captain Obvious statement there, right? But they can. So that's not spiritual warfare, y'all. It's math. Actually, it's math that you have to make it discoverable.
That's funny. Okay, so that's so true.
Yeah.
The fourth thing is that there's little to no social proof. I mean, what's the first thing you do when you want to go to a new restaurant, or you're booking a trip and you're trying to stay at a hotel? You look at the reviews. You don't want to stay at some hotel that has horrible reviews where they talk about having bed bugs and dirty rooms and bad food and all the things. And the same thing's true for your book. No reviews, no momentum, no single signals to say other people trusted this book. You have to get reviews and have social proof.
Right.
Yeah. And honestly, and finally, because apparently I cannot do math and there are only 5 reasons. Y'all, it's the new year. I don't think it's the new you. I think it's the tired me. So the 5th and final one, and this one stings just a little bit, but it is also probably, I'm going to say, I think the most important. And that is authors step away too soon. You say that again. Authors step away too soon. They launch and then they disappear, and then they quietly assume that something went wrong.
Yeah. I think you're right, Sarah. I think that is one of the most important things, is that we give up way, way too soon. And it's like, just as we never know when that suddenly is going to happen, right? What is it? Mary DeMuth, who said years ago, we heard her say, I think at one of our conferences, that sometimes it takes God a long time to do a suddenly, right? And we just give up too soon. So All right. Well, let's shift a little bit because we want to take that shift from published to position. So y'all hang with us because we're going to give you some shifts that you can begin to focus on and consider. So here's what we want you to do in 2026. All right. Stop asking, why isn't my book selling? And start asking, how is my book positioned to reach the right readers? Okay. Now we're going to break this down into 5, not 7, Sarah, 5 simple shifts that, and y'all, we're going to touch briefly on it, but we're going to take more time to flesh these out with you this year. But here's 5 simple shifts that we want you to really begin to consider for 2026. Carol, what's the first one?
Yeah. So the first one is radical clarity. Every author needs a clear answer. So you have to answer these questions. And actually, the more niche you can get it, the better, because you'll have a really good target to aim at. Again, just because they're not your target doesn't mean they won't find your book. But if we know where we're aiming, we'll have a much better outcome. So answer these questions. Who is your book for? What is the pain they are carrying? And what change is going to happen after they read it? What's the transformation promise? So marketing gets so much easier when you stop trying to sound impressive and you start trying to sound helpful.
That one kind of hurt just a little bit because I think we all want to sound impressive and sound like we know what we're talking about. But again, why do we have a message? We have a message because somebody else needs something from us. And so until we identify and key into that purpose, we're going to miss the mark. All right. So now we're on shift number 2. I'm going to get better, you guys. I promise. Packaging with purpose. And we are going to jump back into the reason I gave you before, covers and descriptions. As we said, don't judge a book by its cover. It sounds nice, but we already know that they do, especially Shelley. Shelley bought one based on the cover alone. Your cover and your description exist to stop the right reader in its tracks. If they don't recognize themselves immediately, they move on. And let me tell you, I went to a Barnes and Noble with my entire family, and we proved this. We were all in different sections. There were some books that stopped my teenagers that I had no interest whatsoever in. And then there were things that I watched them and I thought, why in the world are you looking at that? It's because we all connect differently and for different reasons. So that's shift number 2.
Yeah, that's so good. And then back to the discoverability. It's discoverability that compounds over time. And one of those ways is, think of just Amazon, where we should all have at least a presence on Amazon. We don't want to be completely dependent on them, but it is reality right now. So categories, keywords, and reviews, as Carol mentioned a moment ago. Reviews, super important. But here's the thing, it's not flashy, it's not fun, but this is incredibly important and powerful over time. So give it time.
Yeah, that's so good. And Shelley, with discoverability, I think it's more than even the keywords and categories. It's also your title.
Oh,
your
absolutely.
title is a super important title and subtitle to get your book discovered. So I think we're going to really be working on that a lot with our authors this year and really making sure our titling is really good for the market. You may love it, but if somebody can't find, doesn't matter how much you love it. We've got to make it so that people can find it. So, all right, number 4, shift 4 is relationship over reach. So if you have one engaged email list of 300 people, so 300 people that are your actual audience, they will outperform 10,000 social media followers who you do not know. So I know this to be true because I have just been kind of working through building one of my platforms. And when I put something out there for a lot of followers, I get minimal interaction. But when I put something in my Facebook group, It's incredible the amount of interaction I get and how that group has grown, almost doubled in just a couple of months with me really engaging. So that's my people. Those are my readers. Make sure that you are reaching readers, not just a bunch of followers, because connection to them beats noise every single time.
Amen.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Shelley?
No, I just think it's so good. And we say this all the time, but Carol and I were talking about this not long ago as she was seeing this happen in real time, right? And it just reiterates and reaffirms to us that, focus on your people, right? And build that connection with your people. And over time, you will see the momentum. It will be that suddenly that happens over time, for sure. Go ahead, Sarah, carry on.
Absolutely. No problem. Shift number 5, and this is a big one for me, is borrowed trust, leveraging other people's audiences. I think this is one of the best ways to grow your reach and also increase sales, because I will tell you, the last couple of years have been quite the hoot, and I don't have time to constantly be certain places, but I saw God use every podcast interview, every radio, whatever I did, or that is smart, and it has maximum impact with a smaller amount of your time that you have to invest. And so for those of you that are in busy seasons or hard seasons, this shift is absolute key. And I'm talking podcast interviews. It doesn't even have to be that. It can be church groups, book clubs. I did one of those. Those are so fun. Like it's just that connection, and you see real people benefiting from your message. It's beautiful. And then the other one that I'll mention that I also is near and dear to my heart is collaboration. Partnering with people for a publication like our She Writes for Him that's launching, or really any other publication where you are linking arms with other authors who have their own people in their own platform. So you do not, let's really let this sink in. You do not have to build this alone.
Absolutely. And really, you can't build it alone. Unless you're the president of the United States or somebody like super, super famous, you can't. And so you're right, Sarah, this leveraging other people's audiences or borrowed trust, there's different ways to term it or to frame that, but it really is probably the number one way. And it goes along with what Carol just shared a moment ago with making sure that you have your people, right? Get in front of your people. So as you build your own audience, as Carol has done with her Facebook group and seen such growth, it's the same with leveraging other people's audiences. You get that same kind of impact, if not even greater impact, because that helps you to grow your list, of what Carol was referring to a moment ago. But the key to that is, I have to throw this in, is that when you leverage other people's audiences, it has to be your audience. Right? You don't want to just get in front of other people's audiences because that's like getting in front of your 10,000 followers who really aren't your people. Make sure that those audiences that you're leveraging and you're borrowing their trust is they have the same audience that you have. So that's the key there. So we're going to land this plane and set the tone for 2026. All right. So I'm going to say as clearly as we step into 2026, average is real, average is common, but average for us and for y'all is not our goal. All right. It's not because we're chasing numbers. It's not because, it's not because we're chasing numbers, but it is because your message really does matter.
And because books don't sell themselves, we all wish they did, right? But authors who stay connected, they're the ones who see momentum build. So really, as we walk through this with you at fUNfiltered, as well as in our community, this year isn't about pressure or hustling more. It's about clarity, consistency, and courage to keep going even when things feel slow.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're thinking, I don't want to be average, but I also don't want to burn out. That's exactly why we built Book Marketing Pro Academy. And for those who are already members, we are so honored to serve and support you. And in fact, tomorrow we're going to have a coaching session led by yours truly, who can't do math, where we're going to talk about how to specifically apply these mindset shifts to your book that you're either wanting to launch well, or you're wanting to resurrect book sales and really push and move forward in the places that matter. So be on the lookout for that for our own community. We have been again, we're really excited to move forward, move above average in 2026, where our goal is to help you get there to those higher numbers, and more importantly, to connect your message with the people that need it. These are some of the shifts we'll be teaching and also coaching you through step by step in community with real support and without the hype. So for those of you who haven't yet joined BMA, consider this your personal invitation to do so. Go to bookmarketingproacademy.com to sign up. We can't wait to have you join us.
Yeah. And friends, your book doesn't need to outsell everyone. It just needs to reach the people that it was written for. And Sarah and I specifically know this is possible because we have done that with our books, and it hasn't been on accident. It is definitely God showing us the proper steps to take and putting people around us that can help us do it. So it's absolutely possible. So we want to welcome you to 2026, and we are really glad that you are here at fUNfiltered, and come join us at BMA Book Marketing Pro Academy.
Yes. Well, do we have any? Look at all the comments. Can you all see the comments before we let everybody go? Happy New Year to everyone. Michelle, Rudell, Casey, Kim, Gail. Hi, Gail. So good to see you all. All right. Well, thank you for joining us at our first fUNfiltered of the year. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.